Ibinghe's eyes stared at the green-clothed lady in the distance, who was standing on empty air. The shock in his eyes was difficult to hide. The Goo Clan, this ancient faction that kept a low profile, would seldom show themselves in the Central Plains. However, an expert who had reached a certain qualification and weight would learn just what kind of terrifying strength this clan, which had descended from ancient times, possessed. Ever since Xun'er appeared, Binghe might have made some guesses about her status and background, but he had never sent his guesses in the direction of this Goo Clan. After all, the clan kept a low profile. It was extremely rare for such a publicized event to occur. Moreover, there were many experts in the Central Plains who also possessed hidden factions. Quite a number of these factions had a strength that could contend with the Ice River Valley. However, due to the various rules within their factions, they were not as renowned as this Ice River Valley. However, if the Ice River Valley were to offend the other party until they could no longer endure it, even the Ice River Valley would suffer a little. It is unexpected that she is actually someone from the Goo Clan. Binghe's expression turned a little green. At his level, he naturally knew quite a lot about the mysterious Goo Clan. Forget about the other things. Just being able to open a realm and create their own world was enough to cause quite a number of top factions to be humble. Only at this moment did he understand that the words Xun'er had uttered when she revealed herself was not an empty threat. With the unfathomable strength of the Goo Clan, destroying his Ice River Valley was not an impossible task. The white-haired old man ignored Binghe, even as the expression in his eyes changed. The jade-green glow on his hand grew denser. A moment later, it agglomerated in a lightning-like manner and transformed into half-a-foot-large jade-green energy palm. The palm was filled with numerous dark black scars, and a frightening spatial strength seeped out of it. This caused the space around the palm to split apart and form numerous dark black cracks. Ha ha! The white-haired old man's sharp eyes swept over Binghe after seeing his fist imprint form. A loud laugh was emitted from his mouth. Immediately he waved his hand, and the unusual palm with a countless number of strange black threads covering it suddenly rushed out. The energy of above the city suddenly began to riot after the energy palm was sent forth. Even the cloud layer in the sky was churning. Bing. He had naturally heard of the renowned God Seal skill. Hence, his expression instantly became solemn. He knew that it was pointless to say anything at this moment. All he could do was receive the attack from this old fellow who had become excited from the battle. Bing. He clenched his teeth as this thought rushed through his heart. The black-colored snowflake on his eyebrows suddenly flickered, forming an unusual luster. Black-colored cold chi continuously surged out. Ice Zune Force, freezing sky palm. The black-colored cold chi agglomerated in Binghe's hands in a lightning-like fashion. It shook, and a layer of thick black ice quietly gathered on his palm. This ice layer might not appear mysterious, but it gave one a kind of unusually dense chill. The black ice palm was swiftly formed. Binghe's feet suddenly stomped on the ground as his body rushed forward. The next instant, he appeared in front of the mysterious palm. His expression was solemn as he ruthlessly threw his palm forward. The palm moved as Binghe desired. At the same time, the surrounding cold air immediately became violent. Deep within the black ice was a fatal poison. If it were to strike a person's body, their physical body and even their du chi would instantly freeze. Bang! The two experts were just like two falling stars that flew across the sky in front of the eyes of a countless number of people. They collided in a brilliant manner. A shockingly loud sound reverberated across the sky. A terrifying energy storm spread through the sky as numerous 100-meter-long dark black lines quietly appeared like gullies in the empty air. This scene was just like the sky had suddenly opened its ferocious mouth, causing one's heart to feel a chill. The energy storm spread, carrying a hurricane that swept over the sky. Countless numbers of large trees from the forest around the city were torn from the ground, after which they flew into the distance, as though it was a scene from the end of the world. What a powerful energy collision! A fight between elite Duzuns is like this. Xiao Yan's eyes were a little startled as he looked at the spatial cracks that had formed in the sky. The space of this place was usually stable. However, such a crack was formed. From this, one would tell just how great the energy from the fight was. Bang! The energy storm spread across the sky, and the two figures rushed back. While pulling back, their feet rubbed against the empty air, forming dark black scars. Ha ha, how enjoyable! The Ice River Valley's Ice Xun force is indeed a little unique. The white-clothed old man withdrew over a dozen steps before he stabilized his body. He raised his head and looked at Bing Xun'er, who had been forced back even further, before involuntarily letting out a hearty laugh. Bing He's body shook in the distance as he stabilized it. His hand slightly trembled, and a grave expression flashed across his eyes. The God Seal's skill was indeed worthy of being a secret skill of the Goo Clan. Its might was this frightening. Xun'er's eyebrows bunched up when she saw that Bing He had only suffered minor injuries despite his miserable state. Her bright eyes glanced at the white-clothed old man as she softly chided, "Old Lin, don't waste time. We do not have much time for this trip of ours." The white-haired old man appeared humbled upon hearing Xun'er open her mouth to speak. He respectfully acknowledged her words. "This miss, please wait," Bing He hurriedly uttered. His expression changed when he heard Xun'er's voice in the distance. "What is it? Is Ice River Valley's chief planning on pursuing me to hand the people over?" The corner of Xun'er's mouth was curled. Her voice contained faint ridicule. Bing He bitterly laughed. His eyes slid to Qinghai and Tianshuangzi, who was exchanging blows with the black-clothed man. He solemnly cried out, "Tianshuangzi, come back!" Upon hearing Bing He's cry, Tianshuangzi, who was bitterly enduring, braced his attention. He did not have the time to say anything to Qinghai beside him. His body moved and he hurriedly withdrew. Within a couple of flashes, he had already appeared beside Bing He. Using a low and uncertain voice, he asked, "Valley Chief?" "The matter today is the fault of my Ice River Valley. The Ice River Valley asks for this young lady's forgiveness if we have offended you." Bing He ignored Tianshuangzi. He grit his teeth and cupped his hands to Xun'er amid numerous stunned gazes. Tianshuangzi by the side was looking at Bing He with a dull face when he heard his words. He had never heard Bing He utter such words before. Just what is the background of these people? They actually... Tianshuangzi was not a fool. After thinking for a while, he had finally gained a grip on the situation. If the other party merely relied on two elite dozuns, it was impossible for them to get Bing He to act in this manner. Therefore, it was obvious that there was definitely a frightening background behind the mysterious lady that even the Ice River Valley was extremely afraid of. "Bing He, what do you mean by this? Are you trying to throw the face of the Ice River Valley away?" With Tianshuangzi's withdrawal, Qinghai did not dare stay entangled with the black-clothed old man. He also hurriedly fled the battle and furiously yelled to Bing He. Bing He ignored Qinghai's furious cry. Although he really wished to obtain the woeful poison body, he would give it up without any hesitation if the precondition to doing so was offending the Goo Clan. After all, the Hall of Souls might not be afraid of the Goo Clan, but his Ice River Valley did not possess that kind of strength. Xun'er had also felt surprised because of Bing He's sudden change of heart. She fell deep into thought. It seemed that this person had become aware of their identity. "Xiao Yan?" Xun'er mused for a moment before turning her head. She turned her gaze to Xiao Yan. Her meaning was obvious even without saying anything. She was waiting for Xiao Yan's decision. Although Xun'er's action was subtle, it was still noticed by Bing He's group. Immediately their eyes were surprised as they shifted to Xiao Yan. This subtle action let them to know that despite the frightening background of this lady, she seemed to be following Xiao Yan's lead. "This brother, my Ice River Valley, will not interfere in the matter of the woeful poison body in the future." Bing He's eyes flashed as he cupped his hands together and solemnly promised. Xiao Yan glanced at Bing He. He smiled and replied, "Valley Chief Bing really knows how to joke. This matter is but a misunderstanding. Since Valley Chief has already put it this way, Xiao Yan will naturally not pester you." Xiao Yan clearly understood in his heart why Bing He was treating him this politely. The reason was because of Xun'er. The Ice River Valley was considered quite strong in the Central Plains region. With the current strength beside Xun'er, it was likely impossible to completely eradicate it. Moreover, the Goo Clan might not allow her to do something like that for an outsider. Therefore, frightening the Ice River Valley off today was already the best ending. Naturally, some of the grudges between them would be handled by him when he possessed the strength to fulfill them in the future. He had no intention of borrowing the strength of the Goo Clan. Bing. He sighed in relief after hearing Xiao Yan's words. Xiao Yan's strength was unworthy of his attention. However, he needed to carefully deal with the Goo Clan. Currently, with Xun'er intervening, he could only leave in a dejected manner regardless of how unwilling he was. I will get some people to take care of the mess in Ye City and will not stay any longer today. The many gazes below caused Bing He to involuntarily clench his fist, after which his eyes turned to Xun'er as he solemnly said, This young miss, hopefully the matter today is only some small grudge and will not influence any relationships after this. Xun'er naturally understood what he wanted to convey. She smiled slightly and softly replied, I also hope that today's matter will not occur a second time. Otherwise, the place I will have to visit next time might perhaps be the Ice River Valley. Bing He's expression slightly changed. He forced a smile and waved his sleeves. The space behind him became distorted and his body slowly disappeared into the distorted space. Tian Shuangzi hurriedly followed him. Qinghai's eyes looked at Bing He's group leaving in a dejected manner. His heart finally began to panic a little. His body moved and the space around him became distorted. However, he was just about to flee when two black figures strangely appeared beside him, their hands firmly locked onto his shoulders. What do you want with me? Xiao Yan grinned when he heard Qinghai's furious cry. His smile was filled with an icy coldness. He did not have much of a grudge with the Ice River Valley. However, he was in a situation where he would not rest until the Hall of Souls disappeared. Hence, Bing He's group was allowed to leave, but Qinghai was not.